Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host and Pearl Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda of Hito 1v1 on Pachino Stalemate. In the southeast stands Trainz, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, the Hammergöring Fallschirmpanzerdivision, 2nd Fallschirmpanzergrenadier Company, straight to Pioneer Fallschirmpionierstaat. In the northwest stands Charlotte, fighting for America, freedom, democracy here with the 82nd Airborne. Straight into a Pathfinder heavy opening here with triple Pathfinders by the looks of it. And a weapon support center. So, this match is definitely going to be something else. Charlotte is definitely not quite going for the typical US meta there. Using the field with the Falchion Pioneer, Pioneers saying northwards, Pioneers saying southwards. Pretty aggressive capture orders here from both sides. Of course, Charlotte's Pathfinders definitely have the advantage of having a very good capture speed there, while also being fairly cost efficient, so they can rapidly grab in as much territory there as they like early on there, and can be quite useful for harassment and just other sneaky stuff here. So it will be interesting to see, of course, how Trainz reacts to this once he starts encountering them. Because if Charlotte picks her engagement quite well, she can definitely become quite a nuisance. So, first shots fired here around the center of Pachino from the church and into that nearby building there. Rifle fire flinging across the streets here up north. Pioneers being forwards. Pathfinders also advancing here. Looks to be a triple Pathfinder start here. Weapon support center. Could be machine guns, could be bazooka teams. So it could be a sniper here from Charlotte for all we know. And it is in fact a triple Pathfinder into sniper opening here from Charlotte. A bold opening, that's for sure here. A very bold opening. So this should be interesting to say the least. Grenadiers setting out here for Trainz. His ability to see with some players would go for Luftwaffe, but using the Grenadiers then to quickly merge, particularly with their Falchion Pioneers or any other more expensive units, so that way keep reinforcement costs down. What's in particular, of course, once you hit the later stages of the Luftwaffe battle group and get the reinforcement reduction cost ability there as well there. Sniper almost done it for Charlotte. Pathfinders creeping about here. Grenadiers could be caught here between two Pathfinder squads. Pioneers still linking up now here. Could leave that Pathfinder squad a bit of a bad spot here. Sniper right around the corner here for Charlotte. I would also not be surprised to also get up a half track here from Charlotte as well. There you go. Grenadiers, Pathfinders clashing in it. Pioneers going for a deeper flank. And in the south here, we got the Falchion Pioneer Pioneers, and looks to be another Falchion Pioneer squad dropping in here, forcing away Charlotte's Southern Pathfinder squad as they're absolutely outgunned here by the Germans. North side here, the Grenadiers are being molded by the Pathfinders, and the Sniper could see an early wipe here on Trainz Grenadiers in the early game. That would be quite the significant blow here. But no, it looks like here Charlotte's luck falls just a bit short here of a full wipe, giving, I imagine, Trainz a small bit of relief as he avoids having to replace those Grenadiers. Pioneer heading northwards, Pathfinder, or Falchion Pioneer basically on sandbags, so a fair mix there of more elite infantry and less elite. Obviously he goes for an MD-42, I would expect so, but he might also skip the MD-42 and straight ahead push for Panzer Grenadier, or even hold up for Fallschirmjägers. We'll of course have to see here. Northern points being seized by the Pathfinders, again utilising their fast capture speed to rapidly gobble up terrain. As for Charlotte, we do get the air support center, so triple Pathfinder sniper into air support, and we get a half track as well there, plus paratroopers being lined up here. 82nd Airborne here in the face of the Hammergöring Fallschirmpanzerdivision are finding themselves certainly already in the thick of it, and there goes snipers there being met with Pathfinder sniper fire here. Could get a wipe here on Trainz. Will Charlotte find score that wipe? No. Once more, the wipe eludes her hands. Grasp. Half track almost done here. Guessing it's going to upgrade the Corp mount. And we got air recon here for Charlotte. Quickly spotting out German positions. Thumbs up. Could drop in a paratrooper squad as well here, which certainly makes sense. And there you go. Getting upgraded here to the M16 quad mount half track here. Meanwhile, Charlotte up here by the eastern fuel point there. Around the point, half track going for the Falchion Pioneer. And right now, Trainz has no real anti-tank weapons. Sniper squad's killed there. Back here, we do have a Panzer Gunner company up, so no machine guns, at least not yet here for Trainz. And Charlotte here going for a brutally close paratrooper drop right next to Trainz base. Clearly, there are no brakes on this train. Pioneers flanking up here. Center there being barely helped by some pioneers. Maybe some mines, maybe not. Falchion being forced to withdraw here, unable to get close to the sniper. And of course, the M16 being another rather large issue. We get an airdrop here. Likely going to be the LG-40 or Leichtes Geschütz. The recoilless gun meant to support the German Fallschirmjäger units. They actually had a larger version with a 10.5 centimeter caliber as well. There you go, Fallschirmjäger catching the parapet right outside of Trainz base here. Charlotte is just rapidly moving about here, and it's certainly looking to, mix that mobility with that M16 here for extra impact. Certainly a bold build here by Charlotte. LG-40 ready. We got Panzergrenadiers out here for Trainz. For something a bit more offensively minded here versus the Americans. Advancing with a Sturmgewehr 44, routing their paratroopers. M16 with sniper supported, catching the pioneers here up north. 476 versus 444. Neither side being particularly in the lead for now. And LG-40 moving towards the center. Mines going off here in the south. Bit of pressing there from Trainz to Charlotte, leaving numerous Pathfinders quite dead. And Charlotte quick to respond to this, of course, with engineers, likely going to go for minesweepers, but of course, with an M16, we'll need someone to repair them anyway, so no matter what, Charlotte would have had to go for those pioneers, engineers. Of course, for Trainz, he's got plenty of repair units, so no real need to go for those. South here, Pathfinders being assaulted by the pioneers, the Fallschirmjäger. Closing in rapidly. No strafes yet utilized here by Charlotte, probably waiting for the right time before unleashing hell upon Trainz. Pioneers there in the danger zone. M16 moving southwards, and the center going to the LG-40 support here. And we got another drop here, likely another LG-40 here for Trainz. Some players go for one, others go for two. That's depend a bit on what they do prefer personally. Center there, Grenadiers moving forwards, paratroopers ready to counterattack. Not seeing any upgrades yet there for Charlotte, though. Bunch of pioneering up here. Panzergrenadier, Grenadiers, Fallschirmjäger, paratroopers, Pathfinders, all converging here on the field point, right next to Charlotte's basic. Grenadiers forced back, but the half-track has arrived, and so Trainz does find himself in the awkward position of lacking any counters. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. The LD-40 has arrived. Fires away there. Panzergrenadiers, Fallschirmjäger, though, are taking a lot of casualty. The sniper continues to do very good work here for Charlotte so far. In the south here, Pathfinders right about the Fallschirmjäger. LD-40 gets a great shot here, almost taking out the M16. Too slow here, and there we go. Got Charlotte's anti-aircraft counterattack. He definitely went here for Trainz. For Charlotte, nothing further than the basic. Could be that Charlotte is in fact planning moving straight for the tank depot and rolling out those tanks against those crowds. Fallschirmjäger, looks like Trainz going to try and make a run on that sniper, get a wipe here. Snipers are quite vulnerable in that sense, which is why they've largely dropped off. But seems like Charlotte is a believer in the sniper. Pathfinders moving forward. For those wondering, what were the roles of Pathfinders? They're basically paratroopers dropped ahead of the main drop, so basically secure the landing zones ahead of time, mark them out, so hopefully the major drops would go more easily. Apparently they never really quite worked out, at least not they did with D-Day. Also, it's a fun sight that the British had their own Pathfinders for their airborne troops as well. Yeah, double LG-40 definitely is going to be effects both light vehicles and some medium armor. And units inside buildings. Using that direct fire artillery there.
Infantry reporting in.
North here. Pioneers being spotted with engineers and the Pathfinders. That's going to affect the potential wipe here on Trainz unless it gets lucky again. Looks like fortune once more smiles upon him. Actually forgot to switch here back to Trainz a bit earlier, my mistake. Got so caught up in the fighting here. So much going on, and it's just fairly interesting, in some ways, non-meta match between both sides. And obviously I know Luftwaffe is getting more popular. But even there's some interesting choices here made by Trainz so far. For example, we're seeing absolutely no MG-42s here from Trainz whatsoever. Considering how most of our players typically go for the MG42, it is certainly noteworthy that Trainz is not bothering with it at all. Compared to their routed, taking heavy losses, still no upgrades for them. Mine goes off here, almost getting wiped there in Charlotte's paratroopers. More Panzergrenadier here for Trainz, noting no attempt at Fallschirmjägers, probably just plan to go straight for infantry reserves. You do see this by with some of these Luftwaffe builds, they will rely heavily on the Panzergrenadiers because you can just go for the LT-40s for anti-tanks, so you can just afford more manpower on the Panzergrenadiers. You'll then typically also see the Panzergrenadier Officer Quarter, of course, get them veterans 1 fast, and of course help them move fast as well. Bit of air recons again from Charlotte, sniper pathfinding southwards, and in fact it is the tank depot here, so Charlotte is in fact planning a tank rush here on Trainz. North Pathfinders absolutely outgunned by the Panzergrenadiers, they are just outmatched and then some.
Luftwaffe ground forces available as reinforcements.
There we go. Got the infantry reserves there. The Luftwaffe did serve as a large pool of fresh replacements as the War went on. As initially, of course, they were a bit more sacrosanct, but as the War went on, of course, they used to do manpower structuring up. They had a large pool of, men that really weren't doing much as the Luftwaffe was starting to cease to exist, and so they would be put into, like, replacements for other units. And we created also serve as the basis, for example, for the full-screen divisions and such. So, little fun fact there. You can easily see the corp of the Panthers and the Falchion Pioneer. Good chance of wipe here from Trainz and Charlotte. Falls a bit short there of the full Monty. Mines being laid down here by noting consistent mining here by Trainz. Thumbs up. Got the Browning light machine for the paratroopers. Very good addition there. Tank depot almost done. Falchion Pioneer team veterans once they can self-heal. Buzz, of course, grab points faster. Probably at this point should just retreat them. There's low on health. Yeah, at this point he's just bleeding out manpower there, so better just withdraw them. And far up north here, paratroopers striking out nicely. The Panzergrenadier squad here. Rushing in there, making use of that mechanized assault ability. Allowing them to both sprint in fast while taking less damage while doing so. At least they become harder to hit. Still, paratroopers with their brown light machine guns are fairly tough. Now that the Panzergrenadiers actually do pull through, surprisingly enough, there was a bit tough to call though. Pathfinder's moving up. His sniper, of course, still alive here. Veterans 1 with 12 kills. Charlotte's been doing quite well with that sniper here. Rather pressuring Trainz, and we got here the Panzer Company. No Sturmgeschütze here for Trainz, just Panzerkampfwagens. Flamethrowers, engineers, pathfinders, obviously the grenadiers here, low on health, numbers are rapidly dropping. Trainz pulls back the grenadiers before they get turned into a pulp. In the center here, Panzers the pathfinders. Even with 2 pathfinder squads, the Panzers definitely should have the upper hand here with their mighty Sturmgewehr 44. Of course, the sniper typically tends to act as a bit of a thing to tip the scales. We got the strafing run here available. So I'm probably going to be expecting more of that one as well there after the strafing runs got buffed. Quite handy in the right place. Panzer Company up there for Trainz. Maybe some Starstrom, but I do expect the Panther 4 here is the first thing out of his Panzer Company here to support the Hammond-Göring Fallschirm Panzer Division. Pathfinders creeping about here and there. Of course, the war went on. You'd also see the same thing happen with the Kriegsmarine being, forced to send sailors towards the infantry division sector as placements, and again, would also, be put into the full-screen divisions as recruits. So, fun facts there. Sniper spotted around it. Paratrooper there, of course, remain a significant threat here to Trainz men, and Charlotte here, rushing the Pathfinder straight here for Trainz center. Fuel point there. Bow move pace off here, and Trainz Panzers, while rushing in, arrive simply too late to put a stop to this. Closing on that Panzerkampfwagen 4 up north here. Paratroopers holding back. So we've got 2 paratrooper squads with light machine guns for Charlotte. And we now have an M18 Hellcat up, clearly anticipating a Panzer push here from Trainz. And so wants to have the upper hand here against such a potential development. Where does Trainz have his anti-tank guns? They're both so far all the way back in base, acting as a reserve element. That way they don't get caught off guard. The opponent can just be quickly committed wherever needed. And we do get the Panther 4 here on the way. Pathfinder's reinforcing. And back to Charlotte. Near's Pathfinder sniping up, got the Hellcat in reserve, waiting for the right time to strike.
Defend our victory point.
Could have gone here for Sherman, but Charlotte really probably is just expecting like a Panther 4 here, since you will notice a lot of Panther 4, like, you know, Luftwaffe players, they will rush straight ahead for the Panther 4. Some go for Stooks. The cool players do that, but I mean, obviously Trainz cool too. Just a bit of a joke there, but you know, a lot of players will, you know, use the Luftwaffe strength early on to then just rush ahead for the Panther 4 here. So there you go, Panzerkampfwagen 4, ready here to support the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision. Northern points being seized by the Panzergrenadiere. Some Starstorm could also be a good addition here for Trainz though. Down the road. Charlotte's trying to get more and better map control versus Trainz, so Ward's moving that fuel point. Panther moving up, and there goes, shoots, misses. LG-40's moving as well here. And the far south, you can see Trainz actually going for a fairly deep flank here with the Fallschirmpion and the Pioneer, hoping to sneak up here to sort of hit the southern resource points here, while Charlotte is too focused in the center. Smart play there by Trainz. Thumbs up. Mine goes off here. Bob and Rob get their feet blown off. Besides the reconnaissance runs, we haven't really seen much else here from Charlotte yet in terms of air abilities. Obviously doesn't mean that's like, you know, she's doing a bad job there, but it's interesting to note there's just been apparently no real room to like make use of besides the reconnaissance runs, which by the way are free to use. So.
Command points should be spent when possible.
A lot of commands been built up here. Could be a carpet bombing run, could be a rocket strike. We'll have to see which of these two options Charlotte does end up here versus Trainz with. Panther forming forward here, backed up Pioneers, Fallschirmpion, of course, the Leitergeschützen. Engaging there, go Hellcat on the flank of the Panther. Great shot there, straight through the side armor, leaving the crew quite uncomfortable. Hellcat lands another great hit here. We do have the LG-40s here, ready to return fire. Fallschirmpion here being met with Fierce Fire from the Parrots of the Pathfinders, almost wiping here. Trainz virtually to Fallschirmpion squad. Close call, but does survive the encounter. We got another Hellcat here for Charlotte. No Shermans, interestingly enough. Ooh. Wow, he actually got away with that, surprisingly enough. Well, up north here, other Parrot squad up against the punch. We've got a quick sprint forwards here. And grenades being chucked, but again, Mechan assault stick are active, so they can just quickly push past. And now the Parrots are forced to withdraw here. Push for the fuel point here, train to train with favor, but is simply met with too much firepower here from Charlotte. And the Panzer is forced to hightail it out of here. Parrots got caught and quickly routed. Panzerkampfwagen 4 there with the pneumatic machine gun on the way. Thumbs up. Typically always a good idea to get your machine gun upgrades on your tanks. On Hellcats, less necessary. If you're planning to, say, go for a lot of, you know, strafing and bombing runs. Or carpet bombing runs. That's it, with multiple LG-40s about, I'd certainly say there's an argument for shots, at least consider maybe the bulldozer, just something to like help clear them up, but also deflect the shots, as the LG-40s, while great versus, you know, lighter armored things, do tend to struggle a bit more against the heavy armored elements. So having something like the bulldozer Sherman could be a way to, like, you know, minimize the effectiveness of the LG-40 while also countering them pretty swiftly. We do have a carpet bombing run here. Thumbs up for something a bit more high explosive here for Charlotte and the 82nd Airborne Division. South here, Panzerkampfwagen 4 moving forwards. Back at base, nothing further here for Trainz as of yet.
Enemy activity near our munitions point.
Are we looking at any Starstorm? The answer to that would appear to be a tragic 9.
Enemy contact.
There you go, Panther engaging. Paratroopers getting 2 hits in, but the Hellcats are quick to follow up here, pursuing the Panther 4 with their high velocity 76mm guns. Good shot on the Panther 4, pushing it down to half health. Not take the Hellcats lightly. They're speedy and they pack a punch. Which is very much how they're designed for the war as well. The Hellcat also had the interesting distinction of being the first American tank destroyer with a chassis specifically designed for the purpose. Pretty much every other tank destroyer up to then had just, you know, use some other chassis and just, you know, slap a gun on it. That is a bit of a fun fact there. Still Trainz there is pushing against Charlotte once more. Victory points wise, it's still pretty close between the two. We're back to Trainz.
We have 300 points remaining.
Well, absolutely goes. Will it be the fragmentation bombs? Will it be this Stuka-Leiter? Still not much in the base. He's probably going to go for another Panther 4 here. Charlie's been pushed back. Sniper's still alive, by the way. 20 kills. Closing in actually 3 here steadily. And another kill there on poor Trainz Panzergrenadier. Also worth noting, over like a solid, amount of infantry. You got 2 Panzergrenadier squads, 2 Fallschirmpionier, and 1 Grenadier squad. Total of 5 squads. And also a mix of, hardened assault troops, just pretty good infantry there. And, of course, Grenadiers.
Enemy forces have claimed our territory.
Looks like we got some air reconnaissance here. Charlotte looking for that right time to strike here. Versus Trainz. Sniper still at his deadly line of work here versus Trainz. And the Hellcats there. Sense a mistake here, but Trainz pushes forwards. First shot misses, second one goes straight for the Panther 4's armor. Certainly would have been an issue for Hellcats to crack that open. Far up north here, though, Trainz makes his move again here. Panzer goes back out the Pioneers, overwhelming Charlotte's northern flank here, which is quite frankly very weak. So good read there tactically by Trainz. Second Panther Force arrived. Pressure on Charlotte will be increasing with this. But there you go. Charlotte going forward here with the strafing round here, trying to keep us on with the victory point, and it works. Almost wiping out the Panther squad entirely. Close call there for Trainz. Thankfully for him, though, Charlotte has not picked gone for that research, whether it gets a second strafe in. Otherwise, that Panther squad could have been wiped out. So there's a small bit of help there. Up north, though, we got the Sherman in on his own. Steadily moving forward there for freedom, engaging the German Pioneers out in the open. Could definitely benefit from a 50 cal on that one. In the center, Panther Force converting the paratroopers, forcing Charlotte to withdraw, or of course suffer a total wipe of her paratroopers to the might of the German Panzerwaffe here, the 2 Panther 4s. Might be worth considering some, officer quarters there, thumbs up. Could also go for the side skirts. A lesser priority then, but could consider it. And I'd certainly still like to see some Starstorm, or maybe some Fallschirmjägers. As for Charlotte, definitely building up more and more armor. Bit more infantry, I feel like could maybe be there for Charlotte as well. Mines here from Trainz Fallschirmpionier. Oh, never mind, they got cancelled. I think the sort of sound of the shell rumbling in the background there caused Trainz to think he's going to be about to be hit by an armored assault. And obviously he doesn't want his Fallschirmpionier to be caught standing on a mine when an assault hits. That's a great way to get your Fallschirmpioneers mauled. Victory points wise, Charlotte's bleed out a bit here. Fresh push here. Paratroopers leading one way, Pathfinders the other way. We've got Minesweepers here. Clearly very aware of Train's tendency to mine stuff up. Sniper gets a good kill here. Flamethrower engines moving up. Paratroopers moving up here, and there you go. Train's forced to abandon the heights there. The ruins of the orphanage. LD-40 there being pushed back. Hellcats running forwards. Sherman got moving up the center here. Looks to be a 2-pronged assault with the main weight on the southern flank here. Air support called in here. And we got the Stuka-Leiter return here from Trainz. It's a bombing run there from Charlotte. It's a bombing run. Sniper caught here though. Parrot as well. Oh good, LD-40 going down. And some of Charlotte's troops got caught in the blast as well here. Brutal. Hellcats getting hammered. Sherman's there. Being hit by the lights, but not enough to finish it off here. Could try and run off with the LD-40. But we got Grenadiers moving in. It looks like Charlotte won't be able to do that. We got flamethrowers on the Pathfinders, but that was brutal there. Losses on both sides, but in the end, Charlotte just was not able to pierce through here Trainz lines. And lost the sniper in the process. I don't think there's any other losses, though, here for Charlotte, so may not be a complete write-off. But clearly did not quite have the intended success either. But as long as the armor is still alive, and most of the infantry is, there's still a chance, of course, for Charlotte to break through Trainz anyways. But it would have been great if she'd be able to grab that LD-40 and turn against Trainz. Also worth noting here, he was quick to merge all his Grenadiers with it to get it back to full strength. Thumbs up. Overall good use of merge here by Trainz. Back to Charlotte.
We've taken them down points, Commander.
Less than 200 points for Charlotte, less than 350 for Trainz. Charlotte will need to pick up the pace soon. We got a Panther 4 there for Trainz, a third one. Charlotte, meanwhile, definitely a bit short here on things as well.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Panzers there being fixed up, pushing northwards here.
Territory point is
And the Panzers there utterly overwhelmed by the sheer number of troops that Charlotte is bringing to bear. Sherman almost fixed up.
a victory point.
So will it be another Hellcat? Will it be another Sherman? So the big questions at the moment. Panther 4's hanging back here.
Payload ready, Commander.
180 versus 287. The gap is growing here between the two commanders. Charlotte, of course, needs to rebuild her forces and prepare for the next assault. And there you go, third Panther 4 ready. We're about to see some larger tank battles at this rate. Panzers there caught by the Sherman. Got the white phosphorus shell there. Nice ability here. So what will it be? Will it be another Sherman? Will it be another Hellcat? Will it be a bulldozer Sherman? That would be an interesting pick here. Though again, I think one that has some merit here. There's some of these LG-40s and the other elements. And which is it? It is another regular Sherman there. Yep, the M41 Sherman medium tank. You got 162, 187. Charlotte's managed to stop the bleeding for now. Trainz, of course, not having enough dispatches as first and freshly arrived Panther 4 here to deal with the Paris from the south. Got a flung there for the abandoned bar away here.
The enemy is stealing our
Trainz
munitions
quickly
point.
recapturing that for the glory of Deutschland. Hellcat Sherman on the way there, heading southwards here, looking to catch here, of course, the Panther 4s. But Trainz, of course, expecting this, is ready with the LG-40s. Of course, the argument here, Charlotte may, of course, want to take another approach and catch Charlotte's LG-40s off guard. And then maybe hit them with a strafing run during the attack, or suppose a bombing run. But Charlotte isn't actually too far away from here. In fact, we're talking seconds. Hellcat's working here, the LG-40 does not. North here, bit of skirmishing here. We got the second Sherman ready there for Charlotte. So that's 2 Shermans, 2 Hellcats. And we do get the Star Storm here for Trainz. Thumbs up. And we just need the Schützen. After the Starstruppen.
We're losing a fuel point.
German Pathfinder moving forwards. Casualty on these for the Western Fuel. Point here in the south. Panther 4 finding a Perishable being wiped out. LG-40 holding back. Looks like Charlotte might be going for a big push. We've got Shermans lining up here by the northern outskirts. In the south, Trainz is mostly focused there. The Hellcats ready there. So a good push here with Charlotte combined with the carpet bombing run could leave Trainz pretty exposed here and possibly opens like some big damage. But it does depend on a lot of factors. Starting to converge the Panther 4. So we've got explosions here. Mines going off. Windows being blown out. Doors ruined. Tapestry is destroyed. Sewing kits scattered. Converging in the center here. Starstorm in the south. Quality between the two sides as they're lining up for the next big push.
Without your word.
Clearly Charlotte is a bit hesitant there about just charging in. At the same time, Trainz is perhaps not feeling too incentivized with the way the victory points are lying and the sort of current terrain he's holding to really just also go all Deutschland forwards here. So, bit of moments there of hesitation on both sides. Let's try to figure out the next move. Charlotte there, of course, utilizing advantage with the Grasshopper here to scout out the positions. Get the best idea of an attack against Trainz. Purchase spot with the Starstorm and are quick to withdraw here in the face of such stout German firepower. Panther 4 holding up. And we're back to Trainz in a few moments here. And so I do think Charlotte needs to, do something soon here. And we got another Hellcat. Looks like that might have been what Charlotte was waiting for. A third tank destroyer here to join up with the 2 tanks. Charlotte is likely really going to go in hard here versus Trainz. Still no Schützen. And we got mines here. Clearly Trainz is anticipating some kind of like wild armoured ride here from Charlotte. Of course, his question of course is, where is it going to come from? Will he be ready for it? Will there be anything else to support it? Tilted packages. Yeah, this really feels like a big build-up for like some kind of like big push. And I certainly think the direction Charlotte's taking is probably one that makes the most sense, because Trainz is still like mostly focused in the south, so the north side is kind of not prepared. There's no mines. Most of the guns aren't pointing that direction either. Plus, there's sort of more paths here that can be taken. I think that makes it harder for Trainz to like set up an effective defense that direction compared to here. But like, you know, you can sort of like more easily cover things with the LD-40. Here, there's a lot more sharper corners that can make the LD-40 a lot less impressive. So that said, of course, the longer Charlotte waits to, you know, actually push here, the more time Trainz has to perhaps realize, you know, something bad is going to come from the north.
We have 100 points remaining.
There we go, Shermans, they're moving in. Hellcats, there we go. Now, Trainz probably at this point has seen the entire armored force, but will he react to this? We do have the armored side skirts. Thumbs up. And there we go, the bombing run. Charlotte is going in here. She's combining a push from the north, the bombing run from the south. He's sandwiching Trainz here between two very uncomfortable elements here. Bombing runs there, clearing out the LD-40. Mines exploded. Panther 4 down. It is an absolute murder here. We got the focused fireability of the Hellcats that keep charging. Trainz is completely blindsided here as Charlotte goes full pattern on Trainz. We got the hull down here, though, activated, but will it be enough? We got a lot of called in here, but is it enough to save Trainz? He's just lost 2 Panther 4s here. I think he's also lost a Panzer Grenadier squad and a Falchion Pioneer squad. He's lost all of his other pioneers this stage. Actually, Lodge, though, taking out one of the Hellcats, but there's still multiple left. Well, there's 2 left and a Sherman. And the final Panther 4 goes down. An absolute sundering blow here to Trainz. He just lost almost everything. He also lost his remaining Panzer Grenadier squad here to this absolute all-American blitzkrieg assault here from Charlotte, which is starting to look like, you know, become sort of a notable trait of a game style. He really likes these decisive, you know, Prussian-style blows, which, you know, who can falter? I like them too. That's it. Charlie, I think, extends here, gets caught up. And now Trainz delivers a counter-punch here with this Panther 4 rolling in here, catching an otherwise damaged Sherman and leaving it ruined here. But good God, this was an absolute blowout of an engagement. Still, Propagandacaster could try maybe grab some of these LD-40s here. Instead, Trainz able to once more recruit them and once more unleash them against Charlotte's armor. But yeah, that was top-notch. So, Hellcat being repaired. We got more Hellcats on the way there for Charlotte. Troops reinforcing healing. Starstorm rapidly moving into the center here. I'm guessing more Panzers, though certainly more elite infantry for the time being could also be a good deal. More Starstorm could be a way to match the Paratrooper and the Pathfinders in a more determined and violent manner. Second Hellcat ready here. Hammond going, Falchion Panzer showing that holds tight for now against the 82nd Airborne, which of course is still hitting pretty hard. Yeah, that was, I mean, really, that was just a beautiful push there. Beautiful. Got the Pathfinder suffers there. Panthering Southwards, assisted by Starstruppen. Also got some Grenadiers merge there. Again, good use of merge by Trainz. 2 thumbs up. Got the use of lane smoke there, but they're taking a lot of fire from the German Panzerwaffe and the Starstruppen in here. Flares off here to scout ahead for the Hellcats. Pathfinder's perhaps up here as well here. We got 79 minutes turn 62. And the LD-40 spotted here. The crew is being lit on fire. Charlotte shows no mercy. And there you go. The Panther Force getting flanked by Hellcats. We do get focused fire here in an attempt to return fires. Well, return fires, focus fire there to get as much fire back there. But sadly, the Panther Force taking too much damage against 2 Hellcats. It is just outgunned. And the LG of course 40 is being forced back means that Trainz can't really respond efficiently to these Hellcats because right now, like any individual tank is going to be toast. Trainz will need like pure numbers or something else to deal with them. Now the Panther 4 there for Trainz. Up north here, Falchion Pioneer versus the Paratroopers here. We got 240 Fleet versus 79. Charlotte just needs to keep control of these victory points here. I think for starters and start, I think, pushing for support tanks, but also I think crucially troops. The LD-40s feel like could still be a way here where there might be help here for Trainz to turn this around. Well, that and more Starstorm.
Sector now under enemy control.
More Starstorm I think would do good here for Trainz, but back to Charlotte.
Enemy at 200.
Risking like losing track at the time of doing this match so many times with some of these engagements. So Hellcat's ready here. We got another Sherman ready there for Charlotte. Interesting enough, they're still not really seeing like much in terms of upgrades. LD-40 setting up here. The backbone right now of any defensive from Trainz against Charlotte is these LD-40s. 79 versus 202.
They have 200 points remaining.
Trainz though is definitely in a precarious position. He needs to be careful with this Panzer force. He needs to like build up like a large force of Panzers here to I think have a chance here. But with the Hellcats he's not making his Panzer at the moment, it's very tricky. There you go. Launching assault here. Shermaning up here. And the Pathfinders there being absolutely riddled with bullets. Down to one man here. The Pathfinders, of course, no match against Vetchi 2 Starstorm and a Panther 4 on the south here. The Preps going for the flank. Going for an isolated anti-tank. And here Charlotte sees a chance here to get a anti-tank and gone. No. And we got another bombing run from Charlotte. Going full Sir Bomber Harris here. On the Germans and on Pachino. No, she catches our tank with it. Okay, apparently not a lot of friendly fire there. Very lucky for Charlotte. But not very lucky for the inhabitants of this town. Well, what's left of it anyways. Congratulations, citizens. We have liberated your town. What town? Don't worry, we'll make a great Hollywood movie about this. Tom Hanks is gonna look real sad about it. Real sad. More stars in there for Trainz. Definitely think a smart move there. Predators falling back. More Shermans there for Charlotte. Those starting to run out of infantry, and I think again, this is the one thing you do have to be careful as the match goes on. You want like maintain a sensible amount of infantry, and this again could be a way where like Trainz creeps back into this fight is through just good quality German infantry. There you go, second Starstorm squad out here, sneaking the more veteran one towards the north, linking the less one up with the main force here in the south. Another Sherman out here for Charlotte. Of course, want to upgrade that Panther 4 with the machine gun, but at the same time, I'd not be surprised if Trainz priorities just saving up as many munitions as possible for more loiters. Another push in the center here. Hellcats being fought to support the 82nd Airborne against the Hammond Göring Fallschirm Panzer Battalion here. Panther getting blasted with grenades going off here in the south. Starstorm catching alone. Pathfinder squad trying to make it around here for the southern victory point. Grenades off. Then he's about to get wiped out here. And that, I'm guessing, is a strafing run rather than a bombing run. Another building collapses beneath the weight of freedom and democracy. Now, there's a continued nodal lack of infantry from Charlotte by now. Pack 40 for Trainz. More anti-tank guns here again to deal with the Hellcats, and as 19 also bit the Sherman. We got 71 and 21 here. Charlotte still beating out in the face of Trainz. North here, Sherman going from the northern point here. Starstorm holding the line, but can they truly hold in the face of the Sherman? We got 67 as 121 here. Trainz though, yeah, retreats. No point in throwing away a Starstorm squad like that against a Sherman. That'd be a waste of manpower, which is definitely not something you can afford. They're not with 420 manpower, that's like really expensive. You of course want to grab that fuel point there to help bring in more armor. You could of course also go for Stooks. That actually at this point be fairly expensive as well. In fact, just about as expensive as going for a Panther 4 then. So, yeah. Starstorm back here reinforcing healing. Looks like we got to see another big engagement here. We got the Hellcats showing force. We got the LV-40, the Pack 40 opening up here. Hellcats being prioritized here by Trainz. I think is the right move, but the Pack Sherman is being forced here, drawing away fire from the tank destroyers. Bit of a risky bait, honestly, by Charlotte. And there Charlotte's going in here, but both misses the Hellcats. Sherman's there flanking up behind. Pack 40 there, almost getting one on the Shermans. Good chance getting a white here on the Sherman. He's a kill there. No, gets away close shave here though. Got more loyalty action in the south here. We got 52% on and 6. And we got a strafing run, I think, here on the Pack 40 and the Panther 4 here. No, it's a bombing run, and the Pack crew gets evaporated. There's two 50-kilogram bombs just utterly blow them apart there. Back to Trainz as Charlotte moves both heavily damaged tank destroyers moving towards the center here. Trainz could go for another Panther 4 here. He could also technically go for a Sturmpanzer 4. He's feeling like throwing a complete, curveball there at Charlotte. Pathfinder in the center there. Absolutely overwhelmed here by 2 Starstorm squads there. Cream of the crop rising to the top there. Sherman towards the center here. Pack 40 moving up to support the Starstorm in the center. And again, note how he just quickly, not just recruits, but merges with the Pack crew so he can just get the full strength anti-tank crew then in action again. Thumbs up here to Trainz. Starstorm then taking an asset from the Sherman, but the Pack 40 does successfully force the Sherman to be a bit more careful. We got 90 versus 49 here though. Match remains pretty close. And the Panther 4 receiving repairs. Vetri 2 there. Pathfinder's making the run here with a flamethrower. 18 kills.
In contact with the enemy!
Panzer. Enemy forces have captured a victory point.
There we go, another Panther already. Rushing the center here with the Starstorm. The path of the flamethrower actually proved to be a hell of a challenge here. Might be worth popping the shock assault, actually popping a grenade here against them. Panther 4 round to support here. Panther 4 finally rounding here for Trainz. But now all 3 opponents back in control here for Charlotte.
We must counterattack.
The pressure is back on Trainz. Can he deliver? Can he turn the tide?
We have 75
Meanwhile, Charlotte here repairing all their armor. Got 2 engineers now to assist in repairing all these tanks and tank destroyers. Trainz needs to get moving fast. He's down to 64 versus Charlotte's 43 here. And we got a heavily damaged Sherman basically guarding the northern point in the zone here. In some ways it makes sense, but at the same time it could be an invitation for Trainz just rushing in the tanks to finish that off and leave Charlotte suddenly a bit shorter there. Starstorm on the center here. Grenades being popped here with smoke. Looking to use that to contest the point. Could pop a grenade assault then return. And a strafing running the grenades up north. He's shown with the damaged engine. Panther going northwards here. Sherman there rushing to the Panther around the center. Do we have any anti-tank weapons? Yes, we do get the LG-40 getting off a good shot here. Sherman, sun heavy damage grenades off here. Pathfinder's losing Bobbert there as he gets blown to bits there by the shield hand grenade. Likely with a fragmentation sleeve there. And it is pay the ultimate price and die in service after this far time. The center though falls to the Hammond-Göring center as the 82nd Airborne is forced to withdraw. In the south, troops being sent in there are clashing with airborne troops there, but we got the Starstorm to assist. Steadily moving forwards here with the G-43s and MD-42 ripping through the paratroopers. And there you go, Crook Grenade. It's a satchel charge. Charlotte home to catch range of Garnet does not do so. We got 18 versus 43 here. 18. Trainz halts the bleeding for now. 18 versus 41. And he goes for 3rd Starstorm squad. My man. Meanwhile, on arm up north here, he repairs very badly. I feel like to an extent this is kind of like, again, where Charlotte's lack of infantry is starting to slightly show. Ever so lightly. 3rd Starstorm squad almost done here. 18 versus 35, 34. Charlotte just needs one good push here and she could still win this. And of course, if Trainz were to lose control of the victory points, that would be it as well for him. For sure. Another Sherman out there. Charlotte is back to having, well, basically 3 tanks and 2 Hellcats. Bit of reverse of the previous time. 18 versus 26, 25. Oh dear.
Only 25 points left.
Looks like we're about to get another pattern push special. But that said, Charlotte may have to commit the tanks and tanks before they fully repair because Charlotte is running out of time and not enemies. Pushing for the south side, and there we go. The Patton Express is on the way here, taking the north road here towards the centre. South here starts being hit by the Sherman Paratroopers with the Pathfinders rushing in here. LD-40 turn around, Panther Force pushing southwards here. Paratroopers taking a nasty hit from the Panther Force. Sherman there, going for the more easy target, and we got looks to be a straight around the centre. Starstorm there, taking a hit, and it's a bombing run here. LD-40 goes down. Charlotte charges through here. Trainz lines, we've got 10 points left. Down to one Starstorm here. Pathfinder's walked out. We got the other Starstorm running into the scene. 8 points, 7 points. Keeping the Fudgy P on the point, he just contest it. 6 points. 5 points. Fudgy Pioneer bite the dust, but it's not enough, I think. 3, 2, 1. GG. Oh dear, so close, yet so far there for sure. That was a hell of a fight here. Really like some excellent pushes from both sides. A lot of back and forth. But in the end, as mentioned, I feel like one of the issues with Charlotte was just a lack of infantry to really like keep up the offensives for longer than she'd like, and it just meant she at times would peter out, but also made it harder, I think, at times to like hold some of these points when she had like at most 1 or 2 paratrooper squads and some pathfinders. Like the pathfinders just, they're there to find paths, they're not there to hold the paths afterwards. And only 2 paratrooper squads, like Trainz for the Panzergunners and Falchion Pioneer, but also crucially Starstorm later on, when we're able to like just move ahead and seize the ground. That said, of course, a bit of bad luck here and there. I also feel like one of the issues there was just, I think like Charlotte should have tried to grab some of these LD-40s. I think had Trainz been denied these LD-40s, he also would have had a much harder time at times defending. So there's definitely, I think, a lot of ways that I think Charlotte could turn this up. But even then, really close match here. Really close. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gives you matches. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. You can also support the Propagandacaster by donating on Patreon. Links in the description. This is Imperial Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting and a riveting episode. Bye, everyone.